Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Bill with Patio Kits Direct. We are here in Solana Beach, California. A little different setting. We're going to sit down with our homeowner, Patrick Giney. How you doing, Pat?
Hey, doing real well, thanks.
As you were I heard you were doing some projects around the house. Can you kind of hit on that a little bit?
Yeah, so we did a pretty major renovation, I would say, back in 2019. It took the course over maybe 2 years or so.
Okay.
So pretty substantial, major part of the home. We remodeled a lot of the outdoor space as well.
So out here, what was kind of the landscape? What did it look like?
Didn't look like this. It was pretty much just a dirt slope.
Yep.
So there was a lot of work to do.
You guys put in some retaining walls, things of that nature.
Yeah,
right?
we reshaped the structure of the backyard, I would say.
Gotcha. And this space out here, I mean, it looks like you guys are using it all the time at this point, right? And how many kids do you have?
4 kids.
4 kids.
Yeah.
And what does that age range look
So
like?
they're 7, 5, 3, and 7 months old.
Oh,
actually.
well, congratulations.
Thanks.
So do they utilize this space out here?
Oh, all the time now.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was tricky, right? Because again, it was just basically a dirt lot in the backyard. But I think even more importantly, it was pretty unusable. We have a west-facing backyard here.
Gotcha. So the sun's just blasting on you all day long.
Beating on you anytime from noon onward, right?
Yeah.
So the times of the day that we really wanted to use it with the kids, we weren't really able to.
Yeah,
So.
gotcha. And then when we look around, did you guys have a lot of your blinds pulled down most of the time? Is that kind of what was going on?
Pretty much, things magnify through the windows here. So, you're trying to avoid it's like you want to enjoy the sun, but at the same time have to avoid it a little bit as well.
So, well, as you guys did your projects, I mean, how did you guys find yourselves on our doorstep kind of inquiring about our patio covers? Yeah,
so I mean, it was, we did some diligence and looked around. We knew that we needed some sort of shade solution. So we were evaluating a lot of different things, right? We were looking at sunshades and sun sails rather.
Yeah.
We were looking at, full-blown insulated patio covers, things like that. But.
Did you guys look at modular stuff from Costco or Home Depot?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We just didn't think with the scope of what we wanted to do though, that it was going to be really sufficient for what we needed. So.
Yeah. A lot of people, those are temporary fixes, they can serve its purpose, but I mean, as you know now, this is long-term, this is a permanent structure, right?
Yep.
So when you were going through that process, kind of scoping us out, what were some of the objections that you were thinking about doing it yourself? Yeah.
I mean, so just for a little bit of context, we had been in the middle of this rebuild for quite some time of the home.
Right.
And we had a great general contractor who really helped us build the majority of the home and what we're looking at today. The things that I was evaluating, frankly, were, do we make this an extension of that project, or could this possibly be something that maybe I could tackle on my own?
Yeah.
So that was sort of the lens that I was looking at it through when I was evaluating. Okay, do we want somebody to come out and build it, or do I want to roll up my sleeves, and do I think that this is something I could actually do? Yeah,
I mean, so when you were sitting down at nighttime with your wife, what were some of the conversations you guys were kind of doing the back and forth about?
I mean, honestly, I historically haven't really been a huge DIY guy in the past.
Yeah.
And so I think a real part of that conversation was, hey, do I think that I can do it?
Yeah.
So I actually had to do a lot of research, even before finding specific vendors for, patio covers and things like that.
Yeah.
Just what might go into the process.
Sure.
So there was a little bit of an education thing that I needed personally to spin up on to feel super comfortable. But that was part of the thinking there.
And not to lead the conversation, but just some of the questions I have, is just when you were getting ready to do this, you have a ton of things that you're doing on site. You have city inspectors kind of in your business. So you guys decided to take the route to pull a permit on that. Yeah. How was that process for you?
Yeah, I think it was actually pretty straightforward, to be honest.
Yeah.
At least in our city, here in Solana Beach, they have permits that are specific to these types of additions, and so it was fairly straightforward.
Yeah. And did our team help you out with that permit process?
Yeah, they walked us through sort of what we could expect as we started the process. So that was super helpful, definitely in the beginning.
And then just so you guys getting ready to do that, you're still in the middle of doing all these projects. When you guys were talking with us, I think one of the things that really you had to really work through was the footings, right? That was that was a big thing. So you had to dig some big footings. Can you kind of tell us about that experience?
Yeah, my wife and I, we spent a little bit of time. I think it was like 30 by 30 by 30.
Okay, pretty big.
Footings. Yes, I mean the structure is fairly large as well. So
right.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't all that bad, but yeah, it was a little bit of work. So.
Did you, when you guys kind of went into this, you guys have a beautiful view, obviously, right?
Thanks.
Like you guys wanted the biggest post spacing that you guys could get, correct?
Yeah, definitely. What we were trying to really maximize for was just an unobstructed view.
Yeah.
And so I think from the recommendation from your team was, we had a few options at our disposal.
Sure.
We could have gone with 3 posts, but ultimately we landed on sort of these larger 2 posts.
And that's what led to the larger size footing, essentially, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of sacrifice, there's a little bit of extra work, to get to those really big spans in between the 2 posts.
Yep.
But in the long run, as we look around, it was worth it, right?
1,000%.
Yeah, that's cool. So permits, that was a little bit of an objection, wasn't that bad for you guys. Looks like we helped you out. It was efficient. What was the next thing? Was it like drilling into the house that was intimidating? Because you guys had just rebuilt the house essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of the unknown for me of like where to get started.
Sure.
Once we hit go and decided to do this, I had some initial, not objection, but a little bit of anxiety, frankly, in the beginning of the process. Like, how was I going to actually, bring this thing together?
Right.
But actually, working with your team was really nice. They walked us through step by step.
That's awesome.
What to expect when everything is going to get shipped.
Right.
Well,
they better be doing that. That is their role.
Exactly. So that definitely put me at ease.
That's cool. That's cool. So you guys are getting ready for this, and then you guys decide to pull the trigger. You got some other bids. Were we below those bids, or where did we kind of fall in line for a DIY versus a full install company coming out here?
Yeah, I don't have the exact numbers, but I think it netted out. I think that you guys were probably $3,000 to $4,000 less expensive.
Sure. That's our average savings to our customers generally. So that sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, that was one part of the equation, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what was important about that, though, was like that savings, and ultimately this is why we decided to go with you guys, is with the quality that we were getting, and with the savings that we were getting, we were able to put that money towards other things.
Interesting.
The furniture that we're sitting on out here, right? Like it's just, it can go to something else.
And this is great. I love these seats, by the way. So you reallocated some of the money. That's great, because when you're in a project this big, I mean, it's a can of worms, right? You're like, okay, let's focus on this. And then, oh my God, honey, we need this to go and pair with this, or we won't be able to enjoy it. You guys bought patio furniture as an example, right?
Yeah, just one example.
Example. So, so we're getting ready. You make the purchase, and then we're notifying you our delivery, or how was that process for you? Like getting the materials actually out here, because you opted not to pick it up, maybe because you didn't have a trailer.
Yeah, we just needed to make sure that we had the space for it. So cleared out the side yard, and they delivered it right where we needed it. Yeah. And we were able to really get started right after delivery. So did you find
the quality control check, like you as a homeowner, did you find going through the materials intimidating? Like, did you understand the pieces?
Yeah, it was actually pretty well laid out even ahead of being shipped.
Sure.
So the instructions were pretty self-sufficient,
That's cool.
To be honest.
So you got all the materials here. You're looking for a build day, but obviously you had to do the footings first. So you and the wife get out here, dig the footings. And then what was the next step? Basically setting the post?
Yeah, I was setting the posts. And then I think the header that we attached to the stucco wall.
Yeah.
And then once we had sort of the framing in place, I mean, really, it's fairly simple. It's sort of elegant Legos that you can kind of put together.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So
got the ledger up. So what was it? You and a buddy, or what was like you and your wife? What was that?
To her credit, my wife did help a ton in terms of helping hoist up some of these the aluminum lattices and things like that.
But it's lightweight, right?
Oh yeah, it's super lightweight.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of an added benefit is you're not breaking your back. I mean, because
Yeah.
wood can be beautiful. All of us have seen nice patio covers, but like duration, no maintenance, that kind of thing, like that has to factor into your mind when you're thinking about what's the right fit for your house, right?
Yeah, for sure. I will say we had some of the steel beams. I had a friend help out with that.
Yeah,
Everything else is
it's heavy though.
yeah.
I mean,
Everything else is pretty good. So.
Nobody's gonna look down on you by not building this entire thing by yourself.
Yeah.
So, so how many days did you guys work on this? So let's say a full day for setting posts and doing the concrete.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
That was about right, and I'd say it was more just a function of how much time I wanted to put towards it each day. But
Yeah.
I think we got it done in a weekend.
Yeah, and then you added some other features. I see you got some speakers up to add kind of more to the ambiance of the area.
Yeah.
And then these lights, can you kind of tell me about why you guys decided to do these lights?
Yeah. I mean, just so that we could make the space. I mean, it really has transformed into basically an outdoor living room.
Sure.
So now that we have solved for the daytime use, we wanted to also just add a little something to
ambiance,
make it usable at night too.
You know, that's so interesting. Everybody is a little bit different, you know, like some people just install the lights. You know, you sent me some pictures with this. I've seen it at nighttime, and I mean, it's a look, it's a vibe, you know, that kind of fits with your guys' lifestyle. That's cool. So you guys are building. Tell me, did you have all the tools you needed, or is it stuff that is around the house? You know?
Yeah, I think most of the tools that I had already were sufficient for the build. I did have to maybe run to the store once or twice, you know, to get the right drill bit or something like that.
Yeah.
But
sometimes, you know, you need that one little extra Home Depot run, you know, to make sure you can complete the project. Because, you know, putting up a ledger like that, I mean, the lags are big. It's pretty intimidating because they're like a 4 or 5 inch lag, you know. So I think, you know, my experience is like sometimes that can be really intimidating for the customer to take that first step drilling into the wall. What was that feeling like for you?
A little apprehensive at first, to your point, because you want to make sure that you're doing it right.
Yeah.
We were fortunate in that we had just gone through a bit of the rebuild, so we had a lot of confidence in where know the studs were.
Oh, so you guys actually had a visual of where all the studs behind the wall or the floor joist, that kind of thing.
So that helped a ton.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
But still, there's a little bit of that anxiety when you're muscling into it. But
especially after a brand new remodel as well. You know, so. And then just so you guys get it built, I mean, what has that done for the family since this has been built? You know, like are you know, like is the wife happy with you, or you know, are the kids enjoying the space? Kind of
I mean, you know, again, before it was relatively unusable, just because you're baking in the sun, you know, the entire time. I think that what's changed since we've installed it has been, you know, we still get the best of both worlds. We have that natural light that still flows through. We ended up opting for the lattice option, actually.
For
that reason specifically.
Yeah.
But it gives us just enough shade that the kids are actually, and me, frankly, you know, we're out here all the time now.
Right.
And it doesn't take away anything from the indoor experience as well that we wanted to preserve.
Right.
It's fun, you know, like kids being able to say, "Oh, Daddy built this," you know, when friends come over. So it's cool.
Yeah, did you take a little pride in it too?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
You know, did you go to the wife, "Hey, what do you think about what I did out here?" You know, type of thing.
For sure. Yeah.
So, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. This was interesting. Like a lot of our customers, they do solid covers because it just, you know, that outdoor living space. But when I'm sitting out here and just how like open and natural everything feels, and I don't feel like caved in this particular build, you know, like nothing feels closed in. So it feels, I mean, the height of it looks great. You know, I can stand up. I'm 6'2", you're 6'2" or 6'3". You know, so there's no height variance that's really getting in our way. It does feel very open, you know. So this has been like such a cool visit to come out here and see this. Like, is there anything else that, you know, you could give us feedback on, you know, about your experience with our company that maybe we can improve on maybe?
No, I honestly, I think that having a little bit of that apprehension and anxiety, not really knowing if I wanted to pull the trigger and do this thing myself. No, I thought, I was put at ease early in the process.
That's great.
And I mean, yeah, in hindsight, I'm super glad that I went this route. So
Yeah, this has been great. This sit down we don't get to do this often with our customers. I really appreciate you having us out here today.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate your business, Patrick.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you. All right, so today was awesome. Again, if there's any objections, as you can see in this video, this was what one customer's journey looks like all the way through. Now, if you like and subscribe, we're gonna be doing more video content to maybe help you guys understand more of how these patio covers go up and how easy it is to DIY. So visit patiokitsdirect.com today, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you for your time.